Now in this exercise, we're going to be editing a flat roof with insulation, and we're going to look at how to taper the insulation for drainage purposes. So first we're going to create a section view to look at the roof section. So I'm going to go to view and then select section, and in the property make sure this is a building section, and we're going to cut a section across the between the grid line 4 and 5. So I'm going to pick from the courtyard side and drag it up and pick a point here. I have my section created. I don't need the range to go look all the way back that far. I just want to look at this portion of the building, and I'm going to click on this, move my mouse onto the section line, and then right mouse, select go to view. Now I'm looking at the section of that building. Now we already created a roof slab in this model already, but this is only a generic roof style. So we're going to edit this and change it to roof style that would have these taper insulation element in it. So we're going to go to edit type. We're going to rename this, and rather than generic roof, we're going to call this 250 millimeter concrete with taper insulation. Okay, so we're going to go to edit the structure. We're going to change this to 250. This is a structural element, and we're going to pick the material to be concrete. So we're going to filter type con at the top here. So we're going to look at let me see, cast in place concrete. We're going to pick this material and select OK. And now we're going to add a couple more components in here. So we're just going to insert. This is going to be membrane layer. No, actually we're going to make this into thermal air layer. Let me see, thermal. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to move it up because this is not the core boundary. We're going to make this into 115 millimeter. And then we're going to add another component, and this is going to be the membrane layer, and this is going to be insulation. So we're going to look for insulation, and we're going to select rich insulation, select OK. That's our material, and this is going to be roofing membrane. So we're going to select roofing EPDM membrane. Because membrane layer, you can give it a thickness, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to leave it a seal thickness for now. And I'm going to make this, make sure you toggle on the insulation component here. See the toggle variable? This is how we can slope the insulation. You'll select OK. And select OK again. Now you see the roof become thicker, and then let's take a look at it in detail. So from the view control bar, the detail level, we're going to set to 5. Now after you toggle on the view detail level of the roof, you can see the concrete and insulation components. Now we're going to toggle back to 3D view to see how we can slope these insulation. So I'm going to click on the 3D view in my quick command toolbar, double click. And I'm going to click on my roof and highlight it. And I'm going to go to temporary high isolate. I'm just going to isolate element. Now I'm going to go to the top view. I click on the roof, highlight the roof, select the roof, and then select modify sub-element. Now I'm going to click on this command add split line. which means I'm going to split the roof up into different regions. So I'm going to pick on this inside corner and then drag it directly across. And I'm going to add a point. So I'm going to lower this point by 50 millimeter because our insulation is 150 millimeter, and I want to maintain at least 100 millimeter insulation on the roof. So I'm going to put this point at -50. So I'm just going to pick a point over here after I change the setting in the option bar. And I'm going to click on modify to finish this command. You can see that the surface has been changed. And now this is a low point, and so there's triangulation on the surface to make it slope down. So if you look at it back in isometric view, I click on this corner of the view cube, it will toggle me back into isometric view. Now to see the sloping, I think we need to go back to the roof plan. In the project browser, double click on the roof level. You're going to toggle to find, and we're going to click on this, and we're going to drag it back a little bit. And we can click on this and then right mouse, go to view, and see the point is here, and you can see the depression from the point that I created. Now if I do a spot elevation check, I can go to annotate and then click on spot elevation, check the corner here. This is 11,600. If I check the point here, it should be almost 50 millimeter lower. So it is. So the section may not be cutting through the point I selected, so it may not be exactly 50 millimeter. So this is the general process on how to slope the taper insulation in the roof. Now let's take a look. What if we didn't check on the toggle on vary the thickness of these insulation components? So if we highlight the roof, we click edit type, go into the edit structure of this roof type, and we untoggle this, and then select apply, OK, and apply. You see the bottom of the roof also depressed by 50 millimeter. So it is important, if you want to slope a certain portion in your roof assembly, you have to turn on this toggle. So I'm going to retoggle on the variable thickness in the insulation elements of this roof style. I'm going to select OK, and select apply, and select OK. You can see the underside of the slab is flat again, only the insulation portion of the roof is tapered down. You can also do this type of manipulation to the roof in plan view as well. You don't have to necessarily do it in isometric or 3D view. So if I toggle back to the roof plan view, I'm going to zoom in and put my mouse over one of these edges of the roof. I'm going to click on it and highlighted it. I selected the roof. To make things a little bit simpler, I'm just going to, from the temporary high isolate, I'm just going to isolate the roof elements so I don't see anything else. Now this piece of roof, I just want to have two drains, one around here and one around here. So what I do is I click on the roof, highlighted it, and then from here I'm going to click on the command under the modify tab, add points. So I'm going to change the elevation to be -50. So I'm going to pick a point somewhere over here. And I'm going to pick another point somewhere over here. And we click modify to get out of this command. Now let's check the slope and elevation of these points. So I'm going to go to spot elevation command. Now here it should be exactly 15 millimeter lower than the edge of the roof. So if I go to the edge of the roof, it is 1160, and this point is 1150. On this other side is the same. Now if we look at this point, Now it looks like this point is not exactly at that location, so we can actually always go back, click on this, and then select Modify Sub-Element. Click on this, it's going to be minus 50. Hit Enter, and then hit Modify to get out of this, and then we're going to do the spot elevation check again. Now we know this is exactly 50 millimeter below the edge of the roof, and again we just double check. And also this edge. You can also check the slope of the roof between the point as well. So if you go to Annotation and Spot Slope, we just click it down here, place it is 4/1000. I'm just going to click on this, delete the extra one. Now we want the slope to be in percentage, so we're going to select Edit Type, and then in the unit format, we're going to choose percentage, and we want to have 1 decimal place, and the symbol is going to be in percent, and we're going to select OK, and select Apply, and now this is 0.4%. Now this is one of the process to create slope surface on a flat roof.